Have you ever been hit with a brilliant idea for an app and just thought, man, could I actually build this? Well, you're in exactly the right place. We are about to walk through the entire blueprint from that little spark of an idea to a real working app. So let's get into it.
This quote really nails it. Building an app, it's not just about slinging code, right? It's about crafting something excellent, something that brings your unique vision out into the world for people to actually use and hopefully love. That's really the whole point.
And that's the big question, isn't it? I know it can feel like this massive, super complicated journey, but honestly, it's a pretty well-defined path, once you see it laid out. So let's break that down step by step.
Okay, here's our game plan. We'll start with what you can even build. Then we'll peek at the cool tech working behind the scenes. After that, we'll walk through the actual development journey and wrap up with how to pick the right team to make it all happen.
All right, first things first. Before a single line of code gets written, you've got a fundamental choice to make. What kind of app are you actually building? This first decision is huge. It's going to shape the entire project.
So the first big fork in the road is how you build it. You can go native, which basically means building two totally separate apps, one tailor-made for Apple's iOS and another one for Google's Android. This gives you absolutely top-tier performance, perfect for really demanding stuff like high-end games. Or you can go cross-platform. That's where you write the code just once and it works on both phones. It's way faster and more cost-effective, which is why it's a fantastic choice for most startups and simpler apps. So what it really boils down to is a trade-off. Do you need peak performance or do you need speed to market and efficiency?
And you got to remember, just launching the app is really only the beginning. A successful app goes through a whole life cycle. It's not just about the coding. You need an amazing design so people actually enjoy using it. You need intense testing to hunt down all the bugs, and you absolutely need ongoing maintenance to keep it working and secure. And finally, analytics. That's how you find out what people are really doing inside your app so you can make it better. If you skip any of these, you're setting yourself up for a really tough time.
Okay, now we're getting to the really cool part. Let's look at the tech under the hood that gives today's apps that wow factor and all their powerful features.
Artificial intelligence and machine learning? This isn't science fiction anymore, you guys. It is at the very core of the smartest apps we use every day. I mean, think about how Netflix just knows what show you'll love, or how Spotify builds that perfect playlist just for you. That's AI doing its thing, making the app feel like it was designed personally for you.
And here's what that actually looks like in the wild. We're talking about helpful chatbots that give you support instantly, apps that can identify a plant just from a photo, or systems that can predict traffic patterns. This stuff isn't magic. It's just really practical applications of AI that make our lives a whole lot easier.
Next up, blockchain. Now, I know you probably think of cryptocurrencies, but in the app world, its biggest superpower is creating trust, security, and transparency in a way that was pretty much impossible before.
So, how is it being used? Well, imagine an app that tracks a product all the way from the factory floor to your front door, with a completely tamper-proof record of every single stop, or one that lets you send money internationally without a bank taking a cut in the middle. Blockchain makes this possible by creating a secure, shared digital record, a ledger that can't be secretly changed by anyone. It builds trust right into the system.
And finally, let's talk about the tech that's literally changing how we see the world, augmented and virtual reality. This is all about breaking free from the flat screen on your phone. We're talking about either overlaying digital stuff onto your real-world view or creating entirely new, immersive 3D worlds you can just step right into.
The possibilities here are just incredible. From games that feel totally real to surgical training simulations and even virtual doctor visits. This technology lets developers build entirely new worlds from scratch, or just add a cool digital layer to our own, creating a level of engagement that was unthinkable just a few years ago.
So we've covered the what and the really cool tech you can use. Now let's get into the how, the actual journey of how your app gets built. So the way modern software gets built is called the agile method. Gone are the days of a team disappearing for 2 years to build something, only to launch it and find out nobody actually wants it. Agile is all about working in short cycles, we call them sprints, where you build a small piece, you get feedback from real users, and then you adapt. This constant feedback loop makes sure that the thing you're building is something people will actually use and love.
In this process, it flows in a very logical order. You always start with a rock-solid strategy to make sure you're solving a real problem. That strategy then guides the design, which acts as the blueprint. Only then does the coding begin. That's followed by just relentless testing to make sure everything works perfectly. And, crucially, the job isn't done at launch. Ongoing maintenance is what keeps the app running smoothly and securely for years.
Okay, you've got the idea, you understand the tech, you know the process. Now for the last, absolutely critical piece of the puzzle. Who is actually going to build this thing? Seriously, choosing the right partner can make or break your entire project.
So what should you be looking for? You need to ask them some tough questions. Is your approach client-centric? Am I going to be a real partner in this? Can you show me proof of your expertise in these advanced technologies? Do you actually follow an agile process so we can adapt on the fly? And maybe most importantly, do you have real, hands-on experience in my specific industry?
I mean, think about it. Building a healthcare app with all its strict privacy laws is a completely different universe from building a fast-moving e-commerce app. A partner who already knows your industry understands the unique challenges, the user expectations, and all the rules of the game from day one. That is a massive, massive head start.
And there you have it, from that first little spark of an idea all the way to the final product. It's a complex process, for sure, but as you can see, it's a structured, manageable journey. You now have the blueprint.
So if there's one single thing to take away from all this, what is it? It's that every great app, every service that changes the world, it all starts with just one person and one idea. Understanding this blueprint isn't just about learning facts, it's about empowerment. It's about giving you the confidence to take that all-important first step.
Everything we've talked about today, the technology, the process, the expert teams, it's all more accessible than it has ever been. The path from idea to reality has truly never been clearer. So the only real question left is, what problem is your app going to solve?